let's watch a real trailer. Next on the docket is Thor: Love and Thunder, with the director's name who I still can't pronounce. And let's be honest, this is phase, what, 4 now? For, phase 4 now for Marvel?
Get to be Thor. Oh, spoke too soon. Jane?
Actually, pause right there. Let's just go ahead and show you everything you need to know about the movie.
Jane?
That's all you need to know. This movie really, really, really wants to follow up Ragnarok. Because honestly, Ragnarok I think was hated when it was like first released. But it's become like a pretty kind of beloved Marvel film. But so this movie just came out. This is like phase 4 now for Marvel. And let me show you as I'm walking into the movie theater. I get this on my timeline. Going to watch Love and Thunder, but now a reminder to anyone else. Thor: Love and Thunder is a comedy. Don't go in expecting groundbreaking work of cinema. Just shut off your brain and enjoy the movie for what it is. Quote tweeted saying, you know a movie is trash when you see posts like this. Yeah, this had me distinctly worried that this movie was going to be really, really bad. Because it's Marvel. Not sure it shouldn't be a groundbreaking work of cinema, but it should be good. Like it should be, you shouldn't have to post that. Saying just shut off your brain and enjoy it. It really wants to be Ragnarok. Really badly, it wants to be Ragnarok. And in the bad way. Because that is, I think Ragnarok's a one and done. Like a movie like that is only going to be successful a few times at best. So that's kind of, that had me worried. Let's just be honest. Every Marvel movie nowadays has comedic breaks. And too many of them. Marvel used to be action and adventure, and it's just not anymore. And it hasn't been for quite a while. And I'm okay with having comedy in a movie. I'm fine with that. I don't need you to pause for the audience to laugh. I don't need the 15-year-olds laughing, and I don't need the boomers laughing. Okay? Make a movie. Don't give me a break. I'm not an audience. You don't need my laugh track. There's examples in this movie where they would make a joke that's just there, and you can chuckle to yourself because you get it. It's a joke. You don't have to make a big deal out of it. There's no pause needed. But man, they're getting worse and worse. Marvel is actually, I think, hurting cinema with what they're doing. Also in the same vein of like making pauses for jokes. The jokes in this film are so bad. They're so bad. Every scene with a joke is bad. There's screaming goats in this movie that I'm sure somebody in the back room was like, oh, this is gonna be a great idea. It's so not funny. It's so not funny. And I try my best to like Marvel, but they deserve criticism because they make an ass of money and they dominate theaters. So they need to do better. Let's be honest. Post-credit scenes getting really annoying. And now, instead of having just one, Marvel wants 2. And one of them is always going to suck and not be important at all. But you can't know which one it is. Was it Multiverse of Madness? Had the second cutscene I was like mad I stayed in theaters for. This one I'm just as mad I stayed in theaters for. It's horrible. Please stop. Your movies are not that. And I think they use it as like but we do it so everyone can see the producers and the directors and all the cast who worked on the film and all the techs and everyone who put in work on this film. No, they don't. I sit on my phone and I wait for the second one. Because I sit on my phone until the first one and Googling how many post-credit scenes there are because now I have to know if there's 1 or 2. Egregiously annoying. Also to the point, Marvel just gets away with too much. This movie shouldn't make as much as it's going to make. And yes, I'm self-aware. I go see the Marvel movies the week they come out because I have to, because I want to, because I'm praying that they're going to find greatness again. So yeah, I spend money on them. And I'm contributing to their box office success. But they don't make amazing movies anymore. They just don't. Now they're all very overhyped. They bring in super cool cameos that everyone's gonna laugh at and give them brownie points. But oh my gosh, they had Professor X in this movie. Shut up, please, please. Like these, they are relying on their wallet to make these movies salvageable, digestible, even. I don't care who you are. The new Spider-Man wasn't good. It wasn't. I don't care how many cameos you have. I don't care how much money you spend on it. They just managed to trick so many people into going to theaters to see these movies. And again, I am self-aware. I get it. But I'll have a Marvel rant like another day. I got some content for that. Let's talk about the good parts. There's some for this film. The music's really good. It's kind of like every Guardian of the Galaxy film. Like it's they have a good soundtrack. It's not just like random noises and ambiance. Like this had a lot of Guns N' Roses. It had a Dio song in it. That was kind of the most I paid attention to. But I love Guns N' Roses. That's a +1 in my book. It's fun. That part was fun. And they played it to like certain scenes, and I really felt like that enhanced the scenes. Also, kind of pro and con. The first half of the movie, I think, was super weak. First half of the movie, you know, yes, it's setting up the film, but the first half overly relied on the comedic part that Marvel wants. First half weak. Second half, I think, was actually reasonably strong. And that's mostly due to the performance by Christian Bale. All the actors and actresses did just fine. But Christian Bale actually delivered an unbelievable performance as Gore the God Butcher. I'm talking like, it's the point where you can always tell now what separates good and great, because what Christian Bale did was unbelievable. Really and truly an absolutely fantastic performance in a character who doesn't get enough screen time. Chris Pratt was made for that role in Parks and Rec, and he's honestly really good as Star-Lord. Chris Hemsworth, definitely made to play Thor. Robert Downey Jr. made to play Iron Man. Like that. Marvel's done a great job casting characters. This is no difference. Like this is honestly probably the most impressive part of this film. And also CGI was always fantastic. Marvel's got it down to a science. I swear, whatever they do, they can't mess up the CGI. It's that good. And the ending's really good. Like I said, the second half was the better part. But even, like, it just gets better all the way until the end. Like, it was all the way into the post-credit scenes. It's strong. And I think that part of it, the whole second half, is the best of any Thor movie. Honestly, so good ending. Honestly, the movie really redeemed itself in the second half. Because in the first half, I was very disappointed. Again, I will say it wants so hard to be Ragnarok, to have improved upon Ragnarok. And instead, it just misses the mark, I think, on that completely. As a self-proclaimed movie critic, I think you give this maybe an 8 point, or maybe a 7.5, maybe an 8. It's Marvel. It has appeal. People are gonna go see it. I don't like giving it in that high of a rating, because I think the first half was bad, and I really am very harsh on Marvel. So maybe self-proclaimed movie critic 7.5. Personally, I think like a 7. Only because the second half I think was really good, and Christian Bale's performance. Every part of this movie, if you took out all the comedy in this movie, all the comedy that made sure that there was like pauses, if you took all that out, it's a great movie. But instead, you know, it has those obviously. So probably it tops personally like a 7. It's worth going to see. I mean, if you like Marvel, it's definitely worth going to see. It, particularly for Christian Bale. Obviously for Natalie Portman too. It could have been better, and I, you know, always will expect more out of Marvel, but at the end of the day, you know, they delivered a product that I think will satisfy Marvel fans until the next Marvel movie comes out.